I'm talking about the Glazers. I'm talking about Ed Woodward. So that was my point. But yeah, guys. So let's just go ahead and come to the predictions. So I'll just be asking your questions. I'm sure, y'all can come up with the answer as soon as possible, right? So it's going to be basic prediction questions about this. Let's see what are your predictions with regards to first one. I'd love to take up the simplest one. It's the Golden Boot, guys. Who do you think is going to win the Golden Boot? Warren, and why? And why? Please, guys, explain why. Simple. In a couple of lines. It's not necessary to elaborate. But then Warren,
If Aguero stays fit, my first choice would be Aguero. If he doesn't have any injury problems, and second I think would be Aubameyang. To be fair, he has been a consistent performer for Arsenal, and he's been proving for seasons, 2 seasons in a row, I guess. So I'll put my money on those two.
I think
that's great.
it
That's
has to
great to
be
hear.
Aubameyang for sure, the first choice, because we have been seeing his performance, and it's like he's obviously the contender to win the Golden Boot. And the second choice, it might be strange, but it can be Salah again. Also because seeing his past performances, Salah is the number one man for Liverpool. So, and Liverpool again being the number one contender for a title, maybe Salah can perform again, just like the previous season.
Hopefully, bro. Hopefully, bro. Varun.
Mine would be three. First would be Aguero for the obvious reasons. He's clinical, he's the best in the box. And the providers to him in City,
Oba-
or like the other would be Aubameyang
Right.
for sure, because he's been clinical all round and he's been the best man for Arsenal. And the third would be Werner, the new signing. He can be
Oh,
a,
yeah, yeah.
a
Great,
clinical
great.
finisher as well.
Okay. No, actually, quite predictable. I think so. He'll also be captain for most of the week in the fantasy league, considering that he has been moved to the midfield for the fantasy Premier League. Aubameyang, I think so. He's probably the best striker when on song. Why I think Aguero won't win it because he hasn't won it. He has been at City for 10 years, and he hasn't won it. So I don't think Aguero will win it. I think so. My bet will be Jamie Vardy. Okay, and
Again,
I think so. Jamie Vardy will once again because he did win it this year, and the best part about him is he takes penalties, and of course Brendan Rodgers has always played an attacking style. He'll not care a damn if he concedes five at the back. He'll still go for six. So Brendan Rodgers, I think so. If you want to play attacking, he's the manager. Just don't expect to win any titles. Simple. So that's why I think so. Jamie Vardy will be the guy who will win it, guys. Also, guys, at stake today, it'll be your pride. The reason being, during when we are done with half of the season, after 19 matches or so, we'll be reviewing this. Okay, we'll be reviewing our predictions and matching them to what is actually going on in the Premier League. So do make your prediction with a pinch of salt, if I may add. Another thing, guys, I'd like to ask is, who do you think will be the signing of the season? The signing of the season for the entire Premier League. Who will be the signing of the season?
Uh, Timo Werner.
Timo Werner. Okay. Timo Werner. Of course,
His
because of his
performance in
form at RB Leipzig.
yeah, and his performance in Bundesliga was unmatchable. Like only Lewandowski was above him, but I think he's the perfect match for Liverpool, Chelsea, and the Premier League style of football.
Even Jurgen would be
Fair.
making a similar mistake.
That's not gonna happen. Yeah, your prediction for
Uh,
the signing of the season.
Honestly, I think Ziyech would be a more lucrative signing than Werner. But yeah, I feel he is more influential. He's a typical playmaker who can cut in, who can cross the ball, who can be clinical in the box. So I feel he is a way better player than He was quite underrated at Ajax, but now he'll be given a perfect platform to showcase his skill.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Varun,
I would
please
like to go
don't.
with him only. No, no, no. For me also it's Ziyech. Ziyech is going to be a
Ziyech.
very good provider. Yeah.
A lot of pressure on Ziyech either way because he has been touted as the guy who transformed Chelsea into winners. So a lot of pressure actually going on, into his into his starting days at Chelsea. I think it will be Nathan Ake for Manchester City. I think he'll be the signing of the season. The reason being, see, I'm not looking at Ake as the player. If I look at solely at Ake as a player, he's as good as let's say someone like a John Stones. But under Guardiola, he transforms himself into someone as good as let's say a Van Dijk. He can be the next Van Dijk. That's what I feel. And coming from a Liverpool fan, comparing any player to Van Dijk, of course, half of the people are gonna murder me in the comments section. But then again, I feel so. I feel so. Nathan Ake can be the next signing of the season. But yeah, I get your point. Why Ziyech can be the one? There are a couple of transfers yet to be concluded. Yet to be concluded. So let's hope we
If
get a
if
couple of good
if City
signings
if
this
City
season.
pulls off
I
Messi,
have
then
a
the whole thing changes.
I was about to say that.
then there's no doubts who's going to be the signing of the season. But can he do it on a windy night in Stoke? That's what we. That's what I want to know. So of course, Messi, if he comes into the picture, then there is no doubt about it. Becomes easier for us fantasy players and Dream 11 players who you want to keep as captain. It's going to be quite simple, right, Pauline?
But that would be the worst dilemma to have. Like when you have Bernardo Silva, Ferland Torres, Sterling, Phil Foden coming through, and Messi.
Amazing,
No, but then if
out of
Messi,
this world.
but then if Messi
Then
comes in, Pep will actually build the whole team around Messi. It won't be players playing
He's
with
not
Messi.
young enough to be having a team being built around him. He's 33 already.
Exactly. He's not young enough. Someone who's young enough, you can build a team around like talking about left-footed players, someone like a Jao Felix. You can build a team around him. You can't build a team around Lionel Messi, man.
Too
Let's be
late.
honest.
It's too late. But yeah, still
Third saves.
alright.
And following for your team, whichever team signs in. So
Yeah,
of course,
maybe
and
the
Manchester.
city stadium is being full now if Messi comes around.
Yeah. And probably half of Manchester United will throw away their jerseys and bury it somewhere, and then buy a Manchester City jersey.
Never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. If
True, true.
United pulls out a Leeds, then too I'm gonna support United.
Of course. I totally understand that, guys. Who do you think is going to be the first manager to be sacked, guys? In the top six, who do you think is going to be the first manager to be sacked?
it's very obvious to answer that. It's either between Ancelotti or Mourinho.
I'm sorry, between?
Mourinho is the first choice, but obvious
Okay.
for Tottenham because Tottenham is known for bottling the cup. So it's not going to happen for them any which ways. And out of the top six,
If,
I think it's going to be Ancelotti.
okay. I actually think in the exact opposite direction. I think he's gonna make a killing, but still, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, Corin,
I think in the Premier League, the first manager to be sacked would be Chris Wilder, the Sheffield manager. They have played extremely well this season. They are gonna participating this year with a lot of high hopes, but I don't think they have such a bandwidth to sustain it. So it would be interesting to see with Bielsa and other clubs and managers coming through. But I would still think Chris Wilder has a tough job on his hands. Then Brendan Rodgers would also be one, which I don't very highly rate Leicester, to be very honest. So these are the two managers that I think would be sacked first.
And
I
I
understand.
even I agree with the fact that it can be Brendan Rodgers and I don't know if it's a crime to say, but it can be Ole as well,
No, actually,
considering.
I'm just waiting for people to actually take notice that he has made Leicester City reach in the fifth position, which is a huge accomplishment for a team like
Dropped from
that.
the third position.
Yeah, of course, of course. They bottled it. Brendan
Like
Rodgers is a bottle.
Tottenham.
We would know it better.
Of course, of course, of course. So I genuinely think first manager to be sacked will be Frank Lampard. I know it's a bit odd because Chelsea have backed him that much, but then again Roman Abramovich doesn't have any patience, man. That guy doesn't have any fucking patience. As soon as Chelsea lose a couple of matches, there'll be a call. I'm damn sure about this, and this will happen because so many good players being bought out over a course of 3 years is good. But so many players bought out over a period of 2 months. There's no possibility that they are going to click right away. It's very difficult. I'll say it's very difficult that they'll click right away. If they lose a couple of matches, or even if they are not getting wins or they don't challenge, he has to challenge. Simply put, he has to challenge. So if he doesn't challenge, I think so he'll be sacked. That's my prediction. Frank Lampard sacked. Now, guys, coming to the flop of the season. One player in the Premier League who everyone is looking at with high expectations, but you think will be the flop of the season.
Kai Havertz.
Any player. Any player.
Kai Havertz, for
It,
sure.
Kai Havertz.
it's
Kai
not done
Havertz.
yet, so we'll hold our horses for a bit.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Uh,
considering how João Felix was expected in La Liga and how he came out at the end of the season, from the beginning, actually, I was thinking he seems like an overrated person and spending so much. I think he might be the flop of the season.
I know. United know it better. They spent 100 million to just to see one dab. That's it.
haircuts are complimentary, I'll agree.
Yeah, Pori.
I feel my flop of the season would be Nathan Ake and Willian.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh man, someone's got to give, man. Someone's gonna prove the other one wrong. But cool. And Varun,
Aaron Torres.
But he does not, I
sorry.
don't think so. He'll have a first team role there.
Aaron Torres. He might just because the way Pep works is quite crazy because he's not predictable at all. So what he builds around the team is like it's quite difficult to predict what he comes up with. You never know. He might just start with Foden and with Ferran Torres.
Yeah, De Bruyne on the
Yeah.
bench.
De
That's not
Bruyne.
happening. That's not happening anytime soon. But yeah.
Yeah, just kidding.
Oh my.
What do you think about it, Veer?
No, bro. Honestly saying, my flop of the season is Timo Werner, solely based upon Chelsea's amazing list of strikers who have worked out there. Alexandro Pato, Alvaro Morata, Fernando Torres. Fernando Torres, I can't call him a direct flop, but then again, he wasn't worth 50 million. Then Shevchenko. So they have amazing strikers, man, at their disposal. So I think so.
But
He's going to join the list of strikers and flop once again. And I think so. It will be funny. It will be fucking funny to see Timo Werner benched for Olivier Giroud, and Giroud is not able to change even a single ball. I'd love to see that, man. I'd love to see that. And that's what I predict will happen because Timo Werner, I don't see him performing like for a longer period of time. But yeah, but fair enough. So Shantanu has kept his signing of the season as Timo Werner. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Guys, also now let's discuss about the young player of the year. So actually, usually there is a certain criteria that you have to go through. So the criteria that I'm basically going through is he should be below the age of 23-year-old, right? He should be below the age of 23, and he can be considered for a young player, right? So and of course it shouldn't be his fifth or sixth season, right? Or even his fourth season. Someone like a Rashford, someone like a Trent Alexander-Arnold, I'll not consider them, right? So apart from them, if you do think there is a youngster who can be a young player of the year, who will it be? Shantanu,
Mason Greenwood.
I'm
Like
sorry.
he just Greenwood. It has to be Greenwood. Even if Manchester United doesn't
Mason,
win, I don't care. Uh, his ability to play with both the legs. We have seen his gameplay, and even he has been called up for the national team as well. So even the whole Premier League team knows that moving ahead, he can be the next Rooney. I feel.
Mason Greenwood, quite popular, quite popular. Yeah. Varun,
I highly rate Greenwood, but then again, Saka is there in the competition. So where there is Saka, there's no one else. With the
I,
first season
I
coming,
was really because Saka didn't play just normal football. He played like a mature footballer because even when he had the chances to actually go at the goal, he still kept on passing. Considering that there was Aubameyang and I believe so it was Nketiah playing up front with him. So it was really
and
mature
Pepe
playing,
as
and
well.
I
Yeah,
was really impressed. That Arteta played him in an attacking role because he usually plays it in at left back, I believe so, left back or
he's
right
the
back.
new
He
seven
doesn't play him up
for our
front.
club. He's the new seven for our club. So quite high expectations from the young fellow.
Fair enough, fair enough. Maureen,
Yeah, I may be biased, but of course I'll go with Greenwood. He's been coming through the ranks and he's been just immense. I have not seen such a clinical player come through for a long time now. So that would definitely be Greenwood. But along with that, other than Saka, I prefer Martinelli more. I would love to see him more
Martinelli.
often. He's been a phenomenal player with the silent flashes that they have been. But yeah, I would keep my eyes on him too.
Especially the goal against
Martinelli is
Chelsea.
Yeah, yeah.
That goal,
Great,
that
outstanding.
composure, calm and composed finish.
his goal against, was it Manchester City or was it Chelsea?
Chelsea.
Where he went
Chelsea.
past a couple of
That's
players.
that specific strip
Chelsea.
by Kante.
Yeah. Exactly, exactly. That was absolutely amazing, man. Martinelli. But I don't think so he'll be given many chances, man. That's what I'm afraid of. Similarly, with
Oh,
regards to Mason Greenwood, what I fear is he's going to be the next Makeda instead of the next Ronaldo. Because there's so much hype, and you already know how the English media works. They are as good as the Indian media. So that's the reason I'm a bit afraid, man, whether they are just overhyping Mason Greenwood and piling on that pressure. He might be a great player, no doubts about it. But just overhyping him might actually bring on some pressure. For me, I think young player of the year, I think a bit of a, should I say, a wild card, right? But then again, I still think young player of the year is going to be Curtis Jones at Liverpool. It is again a bit biased,
I
but
was thinking
but
let's say some
consider
logical Foden or something, but he's just sticking to
Yeah,
Liverpool. No man, Foden would be
sorry,
the third choice.
definitely. Yeah, but he's
I'm
been
sorry.
there for a while. He's been at the stage.
The- These Cousers.
Actually, he's getting more. I actually thought of vouching for Pulisic, but then again, Pulisic, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. I thought of vouching for Pulisic because that would have been the logical choice. But then again, and I'm still going for Curtis Jones. But let's see which of these youngsters actually perform. Of course, if you take it logically, then I don't think so. There has been a more better youngster than Mason Greenwood. At least in the last 6 months, there hasn't been. So I think so. It can be. It can be, man. It can be. Now, guys, I'd love to talk about mm, the top four. Okay, don't give us the way they'll be stacked. Okay, just give us
There's
the
no
top
fun in
four.
it. We have to give. No, no, no. You should at least name the top four in the right order. There's no fun in it without giving the positions of it, I think.
True. Agreed.
We'll do it that way, man. We'll do it that way. So, guys, the top four, or like the way you think the teams you have already seen how they line up. Almost the preparation is complete. We are just 10 days away from the Premier League season 2020-2021. So the top four guys, Shantanu,
So I'll start from
how do you
ascending.
think will
So
place
I would say the winner can be City. The runner
can
second will
there's no
okay.
can be,
It's
there's
okay.
no will
It's
be.
it's
There is will.
it's 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 City. It's City, Liverpool, United,
Okay.
Arsenal.
Oh.
So Chelsea with all those signings missing out. That will be great to see. That will be great to see, man. That will be great. So basically, he's trying to please us all.
So if you ask me the fifth might be Chelsea. The fifth position might be Chelsea. But yeah,
Okay, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. And why do you think like the other teams will miss out, and why do you think that City will win, bro?
City, because I think they are still the most lethal team throughout the Premier League. Better than Liverpool, I feel. A good defense, the world class mid, obviously, and
No doubt.
also considering the probability of Messi coming into the forward and helping out Aguero, Sterling for the likes.
I hope it gets a bit messy for them. But yeah, Maureen,
I don't think so. There will be a change in the teams which were in the top four this season. What will be the next season? But I'll say City, Liverpool,
so
uh,
miss out. Arsenal
yeah,
to miss out.
City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and then United. So the amount of attacking prowess those teams have is just insane. Arsenal might be in the mix, but I don't think so. They have the amount of experience which is required to just sustain it. So, but they might be in the mix. Yeah, that's for sure.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Varun, now don't tell me that Arsenal is going to come first, man.
No, no, I'm quite realistic when it comes to Premier League.
That's
Probably
a,
in 2, 3 years, definitely, but not this year for sure. So it would be Chelsea for the winner for the winners for the Premier League. The second would be City, according to me. Third would be Liverpool, and fourth would
chaos.
be
Chelsea will win.
yeah, expecting
Oh,
this year.
that's nice, man. That's nice. You're staking it all on Chelsea.
Yeah, my inclination towards Chelsea is because of the reasons, like because of the signings, probably. Like
Understood.
yeah. Fourth would be
Understood.
between United or Arsenal. So I cannot choose between United and Arsenal because of the form that we are in right now. I would go for Arsenal. And being a biased fan, obviously I would go for Arsenal. But then again, with the
No, no,
current team that
not
United
bad.
has,
Let me
they
that
can
I
be in
was
the top four as well.
asking finish about United this season solely based on the experience and the kind of people that Mikel Arteta has worked with. I think so. That's solely based on that because the guy is a genius. Turning this Arsenal team around in a matter of months, it's not something everyone can do.
He has done a
So,
commendable job. I'll give you that. But it is a 28 match season, so it is gonna be
of
difficult.
course,
So
But the transition that you see, it's not like just solely based on like 5 or 6 matches. He's been doing it for like now 10 or 12 matches now. So the transition that you see, it's quite like dynamic, I would say.
But being a United fan, I can say that a transition is a myth, and they've had a good 20 match momentum, but it goes out within minutes. So I would not bank on
True.
that. So, but still,
See,
obviously.
to be very honest, I think the reason why City won the Premier League in the first place was because of Mikel, I think.
No,
Because the
actually, see,
found, yeah,
actually, I, just to elaborate on Pauline's point, I also think that transition is a myth. Simply, you're improving, or you're not improving. And if you're not improving, then you're obviously on the decline. That's what's happening with our team also. I absolutely agree to that, because if we don't sign a couple of players, then maybe not, maybe not. So that is
if
the reason.
Thiago is coming, then yeah, definitely. If Thiago is coming to Liverpool, then yeah, there's a good chance of Liverpool again lifting the title.
Let's see what happens, bro. My predictions for the Premier League title this season: number 4 will be Chelsea. Chelsea coming in at number 4. Number 5 will be Arsenal, and number 6 will be Manchester United. Number 3 will be Tottenham for me. I think so. Somehow Mourinho is going to get them going, man. It's all or nothing for them, I guess. So it's going to be Tottenham at third. Number 2 is going to be Manchester City, and I believe so. Jurgen Klopp will certainly win it for the second time in a row, and Liverpool are going to be first. I know it's a bit of a wishful thinking, but I think so. If Manchester City once again, if one of their prime players goes, then they don't have any backup. Similarly with us, I feel so. If Van Dijk goes, there's no backup for Van Dijk. If someone like a Aguero goes for them, there's no hope, I feel so. So let's just hope for the best. That's what I'm hoping at the moment. But yeah, that's the thing, guys. And yeah, another thing. Just a second. Yeah. Now you gotta make a shocking prediction. Something that you think will happen, which will actually shock the Premier League. Something that's gonna happen this year, which is quite unexpected, and it'll actually shock. It can be to do with the team. It can be to do with the player. It can be anything. It can be anything. Varun,
Mourinho getting sacked is one of them for sure. I just want that man out.
Jose Mourinho being sacked. Jose Mourinho being
Yeah,
sacked.
yeah. See, it's quite shocking,
Okay,
right?
Um,
let's see. And I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure, but I think so. He'll rally his team, man. He'll rally his team to a third place finish
Let's hope it doesn't
this
happen
this
that
season.
way.
Whoever will, quite. I can understand why you have the hatred. First, he was at Chelsea, then he was at Manchester United. Now he's at Tottenham. All of that hate is
He's
being
not the special
accumulated.
one anyone. He's not the special one anymore, I think.
Understood. Shantanu,
Actually, I couldn't think of anything, but there are two things I would like to mention. One would be Ziyech getting injured mid-season and missing out the half of the season, and second would be Arsenal 8, United 2.
oh,
Let's be brutal, guys. Let's be
if that
brutal.
happens,
That's not happening.
oh,
As an Arsenal
That's
fan, I'm telling you,
well,
it's not happening.
yeah, it might not, but what's there to just predict?
your credibility maybe. But one thing that one thing which would be interesting to see would be Espirito, the manager of Wolves, resigning in frustration. like with just the
I,
not lack the lack of progress within the team and the management, and just
I know,
what
I know, I
we
know.
need from the players. So that is something which is most likely to happen with the abundance of great managers in the Premier League this time with Ancelotti, Bielsa. So that is something which I think can happen. And one thing would be I'll still bank on a relegation fighting team to just progress in the top 7 or top 8, like a Leeds or a Fulham maybe. So yeah.
Quite understandable. Quite understandable. I am looking for a ray of light. I think so. This is quite early, but Leeds might finish in the top eight. I believe so. Leeds might finish in the top eight. I know they don't have the team to do it. They certainly don't have the players. But almost 30 to 40% of their team had their first season last year in the championship. So that shows how inexperienced they are. But I think so. Marco Bielsa is the guy.
I
If
think
there is a guy,
Leeds will turn out to be the next Leicester, maybe.
I'm sorry.
The underdog.
Leeds can be
Yeah,
the next Leicester, I feel.
Yeah, exactly. Leeds can be next year's Leicester or next year's Wolves for that matter. So I think so. Leeds doing that will be great to see, man. It'll be great to see because I don't think so. Every fan except Tottenham fan actually came together on such a great occasion after last time when Leicester
Are
won.
there any?
It was
Are
such
there
a
any?
Yeah.
everyone loved it. Everyone loved it except Harry Kane. Everyone loved it and Mauricio Pochettino. So I think so. It was such a great occasion just to see an underdog perform and outperform the big dogs in the Premier League, winning 3-0 at Etihad, winning 2-1 away to 2-0 away to Liverpool, winning against drawing against Manchester United when Vardy scored 11 goals. So that is the reason I want to see something like that again, man. So I'm rooting for it. At the end of the day, the last question, guys, is who do you think will be the PFA Player of the Year?
why don't you
PFA Player
start
of
with
the Year,
this one?
guys. Okay.
Oh,
So I think so. The PFA Player of the Year, it is totally going against my own. What should I say? My own instinct, but I think so. It'll be someone as should I say medial or someone as normal as Laporte, like because he's an underrated guy. Laporte, I don't see people talking in the same sentence as Vincent Company or Van Dijk, but Laporte, I think so. He can be the rock at the back. For another wild card I'll give is Thiago Silva. If it makes Chelsea win the title, then Thiago Silva can be the PFA Player of the Year. But I don't think so. The English media will let him win in the first place. But let's hope either of these guys win, man. Because defenders have been quite underrated. In the past 11 years, only two defenders have won the PFA Player of the Year. One was Van Dijk, second was Nemanja Matic. So
Vidic.
it's quite unfair, man. It's quite so yeah. Shantanu,
quite tricky. I would say quite an weird choice. It can be Sterling for that matter. And along with Sterling, I think it can be Aubameyang as well. If not the Golden Boot, I'm pretty sure that his captainship with the Arsenal team, and if Arsenal is actually able to finish in top two or top three, then or maybe in fact win the league, I think Aubameyang will be the player of the year.
Aubameyang, of course, he has a great chance. Aubameyang, because basically Arsenal should change their name to Aubameyang FC. No offense, but he's the only guy who takes the penalties. He takes the free kicks. He does every fucking thing for Arsenal, man. So there's a huge chance that if Arsenal do something really good, like a second place finish or something like that, then Aubameyang can win.
Also, I
That's a
would like
great
to
one.
change. Also, I would like to change my previous answer. If I would want someone to come to Madrid, it will be Aubameyang, not Kante or anyone, but Aubameyang,
Your previous
obviously. And if Aubameyang comes to Madrid and he performs well, then obviously Ballon d'Or, for sure. Like it's a long thought. It's a long thought, a big thing.
He's
But
not coming to Madrid, bro. He's signing a new contract the coming year. Don't worry about it. He's one
But
of us now.
Madrid doesn't sign players above 30, and he's approaching 30, I guess. So
He's about
Exactly.
30.
yeah,
He's
He's
about
about-
30.
not gonna happen. Just
And
like
he
Sancho.
doesn't even suit he doesn't suit Real Madrid's play anyway.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
A player like Aubameyang should probably his next team should be PSG or probably Barca if Messi leaves.
Maybe.
That's my exact question, man. That's my exact question to Aubameyang. Why are you still at Arsenal? No offense, but he is just like way above here. Way up, like
He's still
Suarez
waiting to lift the title, na bro.
are paid
He'll win
really
the title and then he'll leave. Just like Henry.
very
He's gonna stay at Arsenal forever, but you guys don't hand out lifetime contracts. So
Veer, I think if at all the news comes in that Messi is joining City, I think you should do this whole podcast
yeah.
again. I think lot of things will change. Lot of answers
Maybe,
will
yeah.
change for sure.
No, we'll redo it, bro. We'll redo it. Don't worry. Then we'll have lot of material on there. So yeah, Foreign, yeah. Is it gonna be De Gea? Is it gonna be De Gea?
Wait for it. Maybe someday, but he'll be at some other club. But my player of the year would be between Kevin De Bruyne, the creative magician at City, or Bruno Fernandes, the creative magician at United. But
Can be. I'm
yeah,
sorry, I told
he has been an outstanding performer at United.
Absolutely.
He was the stalwart behind the turnaround. So these two have been highly impactful players. So yeah,
he was basically the difference between Ole Gunnar Solskjaer saving his job and being fired. Simply put,
Yeah.
people try to sugarcoat this, but that is the fact, man. Bruno Fernandes single-handedly has given you 7 match-winning goals in the last couple of months.
Including the penalties?
I think it's just the penalties, not including the penalties.
Oh, sorry, yeah,
but
right.
the amount
Just
of
have to point
assists
out.
that he has done too, and I don't understand why the rival fans scream about penalties. United have been receiving highest penalties for the past 3 seasons. It's not a shocker.
I think
Diving or
there is more
getting
to
the
come from Bruno
penalties. There's
actually.
a difference between
Yeah.
the two.
Bruno had done more sort of things, so there is more to come from him
Yeah.
apart from
More
penalties,
diving?
obviously.
More diving or like what? Never mind.
Right. Right. So that was the Premier League prediction, guys.
Acha, my PFA would be Mane, by the way.
Mane, I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah. I don't think so.
Mane is gonna kill it this year.
I think so. Our front three, they no longer have the ability to actually win PFA Player of the Year because the goals get evenly distributed between three of them. It's not as if one guy is playing. So it's really difficult, man. That one season where Salah played absolutely amazingly. He was Messi-like. That was a season where he actually won the PFA Player of the Year and the Golden Boot. But after that, I don't think so.
He shared it with Mane and Aubameyang. Just don't
Yes.
take
Yeah,
the limelight
exactly.
away from Mane.
And that's the problem precisely at Liverpool. I feel he is been underappreciated. He's been he
Heavily
is
underappreciated. Heavily.
always been
By
highly
Liverpool fans.
rated, but yeah, but they honestly do that to their players. I can't understand why.
No, I totally understand why, and I'll tell you why. Because, see, that was the same problem faced by someone like a Samuel Eto'o when he was playing for Inter Milan, and there was Diego Milito. There's no fucking way that Samuel Eto'o is in any way lesser than Diego Milito. But there was a legacy that was built by Diego Milito at Inter Milan, which people love. Similarly, Salah has that legacy and that, vibe to him. I can't exactly point it out, but there's that vibe to him, the Egyptian king. And there's this pop icon thing where you actually see his face on his pings. That is the reason that he's underappreciated as compared to Salah. Right. That is the only reason. I think so. Because it's the same case like when David Villa was at Barcelona, where he was a really good player, but of course Messi was there, so there's no fucking way he will get any importance at all. So that exact same reason. But it was great, guys. It was great to have all of you all out here. Maureen, Zaveri, rider provider, Shantanu Ghosh, GS, and Varun Daria, wannabe Tottenham fan. Great to have all of you all out here, guys. I'll love this podcast, and I'm certainly planning to, even increase the number of podcasts. And so when the Premier League starts, I'd love to have a chat with you as to the daily outgoings, the ingoings, the transfers, and the Premier League results as well, and the previews. So it was great having all of you all out here, guys. This is me, Veer, signing off. You'll have a great day.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a
Bye
lot.
bye.
Thanks a lot,
Thanks,
guys.
bro.
So
Yep, guys.
Subscribe.
Share the video.
Do the sport ticket, guys. You have a great day.